Now we will be working or understanding how we can identify and increase our resources to fund our education. Now there are a lot of merit-based scholarships which are offered based on the competitive exams and the test scores. These scholarships are offered by universities. The universities are the ones that you have chosen for yourself. Let's say you are applying to 10 universities. So every university will have a different type of scholarship, a different understanding of offering you that scholarship. They are going to assess your application. They are going to assess your credential. Every university will have a different, you can say a different way of calculating what is the good application. And on that basis, they are going to offer you the scholarship. Then there are few scholarships which are offered by various corporates. These corporates can be from our country or they can be from the recipient country. So the study destination, these scholarships are offered under, you can say, as a CSR program, or they are trying to encourage the talent from a particular country. So they normally have their own exams which they conduct. And if you are appearing for those exams, then you compete for these scholarships, and the ones who win the exams are the ones that are offered scholarships by corporates. There are various scholarships which are also offered by state government, and there are various scholarships which are offered by country government. So sometimes we see that a particular state is offering more scholarships because they are looking for a larger percentage of international students. So they are offering scholarships which are more lucrative. They are more easy to receive. So if we have identified a state for us, it will be important for us to keep on checking if that government from that particular state is offering good scholarships or any scholarship for that matter for which you can apply. And countries are obviously offering a lot of scholarships which are basically blanket scholarship for all the students coming for that particular country, and the competition level for scholarships offered by the government of the country are very, very high. So really the meritorious, extremely meritorious students or unique students are able to crack these scholarships. Then there are certain need-based scholarships which are offered, in which if you fulfill the basic criteria of the scholarship which has been set by the organization, you will be able to apply for this scholarship. It will be important to mention that applying for a need-based scholarship essentially does not mean that you will be offered the scholarship, because if the number of applicants are more and the number of scholarships are less, then they are going to pick up those profiles which are more promising. So students who are applying for need-based scholarships are also requested or advised to have some uniqueness in their profile, to work on their education, to make their candidature more and more acceptable to those organizations which are offering need-based scholarship. I have received a question between, which is like, what are the examples of the scholarships given by corporates or the exams? So if you see, there are various scholarships which are offered by Tata Group. There are scholarships which are offered by HSBC Bank. There are scholarships which are even offered by PSUs like IOCL. So there are a lot of scholarships which are being offered by public sector undertakings, corporates, banks, corporate banks, multinational banks. So various different kind of scholarships are there. They have their own examination pattern. The information about their scholarship can be received from their respective websites. They have a deadline in which you have to initially fill a form, then you have to appear for that particular competitive exam, and after which you are assessed and told about the result. One more question which I am taking in between. There is a question which says that do we need to pay some amount in order to appear for those scholarships? The scholarships which I have come across in the past, I have not seen any corporate or any multinational charging any amount for appearing for these exams. So far, the scholarships that I have seen, I have not seen them charging any money from the students to appear for these exams. One more question I'm taking in between, which says, are there any scholarships from the Indian government? There are few scholarships which are being offered by the Indian government. Some of them are covering your tuition costs. Some of them are covering your cost of living. Some of them are covering maybe just the travel cost, but there are different scholarships under different categories. And the deliverables and the offerings are increased or decreased based on the relationships which the governments have amongst them. So for example, if India has a good working relationship with America, so they will offer more scholarships for Indian students to study in America. And even the American government will offer more scholarships for Indian students to study in US. If you want to see what are the scholarships available from the Indian government, you can look at the Ministry of Human Resource Development, which is the Ministry of Education in India. Their website will give you fair information about the scholarships. It will give you information about the scholarships which can be availed to study in India also, and to give information about the scholarships which you can avail to study abroad. I am receiving one more question, which is important for me to address here. It says, what is the minimum education qualification required to appear for those exams? So I understand when we talk about those exams, it is the exam which the corporates or the multinationals or the PSUs are taking. So if you see, if you're going for undergraduate education, normally the students who have already cleared their 11th class and are pursuing class 12th, basically the ones who are making application to US universities, are eligible. But there are different schemes which are offered and at different times. So we cannot say it conclusively that you have to be a class 11 student or you have to be a class 12 student. It will basically vary upon the scheme which is being offered by that particular organization at that point of time. We will be sharing a couple of links with you in the end, which will give you information about the various scholarships which are being offered for Indian students. So that will help you to understand that how you can search for the available scholarships. Other than scholarships, we have education loans. The education loans are offered by the nationalized banks as well as the private banks. So as I was mentioning earlier, there are options wherein you can go for loan from a bank which is without the collateral, but obviously the overall loan amount is less. And if you are giving a collateral as a mortgage, then the total amount of loan will be more. Then there are few private banks. Either they are giving you direct education loans, or they are having organizations which are specifically working on student education loans. So they are offering you education loans in, for your education. There are few financial organizations also which are independent of banking structure, which are offering student loans. I am receiving one question which says, what are the terms in these loans? Can a student start paying after they start earning? Yes, the answer to this question is yes. Normally what happens is, if you are taking a loan from a bank, till the time you start working, you are only paying the interest. And as soon as you get a job and you start earning, that is the time when you start repaying the loan. So this is known as a moratorium period, in which you are not asked to repay the loan. You are just asked to pay the interest on the loan that you have availed, so that the bank is aware that you are active and you are interested in having the continued relationship with the bank. And as soon as you get a job and you start earning, you can start repaying the loan. But it will be important to mention that there is an upper limit between your completion of education and your getting the job. Let's say you don't get a job for 2 years. We cannot expect the bank not to expect you to start the repayment. So it will depend upon the bank, what is the term which are being laid out by Reserve Bank of India for the education loans to be offered to students. Okay, if you talk about nationalized banks in India, some of the leading banks are State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Indian Bank, Central Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce. All these banks are very, very active. They are actively looking forward to giving loans. In fact, education loan is a priority sector lending. So it is a mandate from the Indian government to all the banks to keep a certain percentage of their total lending towards priority sector. And education loan is one of those. So it is important, mandatory for all the nationalized banks to give some education loans so that at the year end, when they are submitting their report to the Reserve Bank of India, they have to categorically mention that what is the amount of loan they have given for education, and that is considered to be very, very important. About talking about private banks, there ICICI is also one of the leading banks. There is an organization called Credilia, which is offering loans, and that is a part of SGFC. So there are banks which are offering education loans. Okay, I have received one question which says that is it better to have loans from Indian bank or banks in United States? So the answer to this is that yes, if you are taking a loan from US, the interest rate will be less. It will be very easy also if you are going to work there. But the most important thing is that you need to have either a guarantor in US who can take guarantee for your loan, or you need to have a collateral in US which you can furnish with the bank in order to take a loan from them. When you talk about the interest rate, normally the difference between a private bank and a nationalized bank is marginal. But if your credentials and if a relationship with the bank is long-standing relationship, then the difference is very minimal. So basically, depending upon your relationship with the bank, for how long you have been banking with them, what is the type of banking accounts you are having with them, it will depend that what is the interest rate they are going to charge. The maximum loan that we can get from a bank is 20 lakh. But if you are mortgaging a property, which is a high value property, and the percentage of loan that you are looking for is a lesser percentage compared to the value of the property, this amount can be even higher. So we had received one question in between, which I mentioned that we'll be taking at a later stage. There is a very good option which is available to students, that earn while you learn. So when you are talking about earning while you are learning, there are few options which are like paid internships, on-campus working, and tuition earning / assistantship. So paid internships are wherein you are doing internships and you are getting paid for them. For on-campus working, you have to apply to the university. Very important for you to know is that when you are applying to work on campus, the first thing that a university is going to see is what is your GPA. Let's say your GPA is very less and you are applying for working on the campus, there are huge chances that they will not give you the permission to work on campus, because they understand that you are not in a position to devote your time towards working as your GPA is very less. So what you need to do is you need to ensure that you have good scores. On that basis only your application to work on the campus will be approved and you will be given that opportunity. Your scores in class 10th and 12th, which I have mentioned, plus your scores in TOEFL, these are going to be critically evaluated before you are given the permission to work on the campus. Then there are some tuition earning which you can do while you are learning. So maybe you are teaching the junior classes. So let's assume that you are in third year of your education or fourth year of education and you are teaching students who are in first class or the second year. So that will be the earning that you can make by tutoring them. Or you can also be, contributing in any other kind of office work which is, being offered by the university. So for which also you will be paid. I have received one question which is important to what I had mentioned. So I'm taking in between. What is a good TOEFL? It will be 100 plus out of 120. So if you have a score of 100 plus, then you stand a very good chance of getting accepted for on-campus working. And undergraduate students are allowed to work and earn if you are on F1 visa, on it is specifically on the campus. Now, something very important and which we all want to know, that how can we earn a good scholarship from the university? A university is receiving applications from almost 70 to 80% students for scholarships. So it becomes a very big task for the university to identify that who is the most deserving one. So if you are looking at scholarship from a university, you have to be an exceptional profile. You have to be good in academics. Your scores in standardized test has to be very good. You should have relevant work experience, which is with respect to the course which you are going to pursue in the university. You should have demonstrated research capabilities and past efforts in the field where you are pursuing your education. You must have appeared for at least few advanced placement tests and have received good scores. The application should be written effectively, and obviously, needless to mention, strong letter of recommendations and essays. So when we talk about the academic profile, a student should have a good GPA in class 10, class 12. These are going to be playing very important role at the time of university assessing your application. Sometimes you are applying to the university when your class 12 scores are yet to be received. In that case, the 10th class scores are going to play a very important role, and also the school grades. When you are appearing for the standardized test, which is SAT or ACT, the scores that you are receiving in these standardized tests are going to be one of the most important components at the time of your application being assessed by university for scholarship. Work experience in the relevant field is important. Research capabilities, when the scores in the advanced placement test, these are going to make your application effective. And obviously, when you are getting a good letter of recommendation and your essay actually speaks about your purpose, then university is going to feel that this is the deserving candidate and we should offer scholarship to them. LOR is basically letter of recommendation which we receive from our school. So normally when we are making an application, we will be given an option to name a couple of people who are either our faculty in school or they are the ones where we have done any specialized course, and these people will be approached directly by the university through an automated system wherein they will fill in the letter of recommendation and it will be received by the university directly. And essays are also known as statement of purpose. Other than US, if you are looking for some programs, Europe offers free undergraduate education for deserving candidates. There they have a different set of parameters. It's a very, very wide subject which might need a webinar on itself. So if you, let's say you want to study in Germany and you have a good hand at German language, which is their first criteria, then they assess you for free undergraduate education, and based on your application, they offer you these options. Then there are various programs by the European Union which are known as Erasmus. They are offering different scholarships under these programs, which gives you the option to work in one country, study in one country, practice in another country, giving you multi-country exposure within Europe. Then there are some scholarships which are offered by the Commonwealth countries to study inter-countries in different countries. Also, there are some SARC scholarships which are for SARC nations. Now you can see on your screen there are few links which talks about the information that you can receive. There are two links from College Board website which can give you very good information regarding financial aid. Most of you are using College Board Common App application, which is to apply to various colleges in US. So there is a form called CSS, which is a CSS profile. If you are filling the CSS profile, you are automatically applying to about 400 plus universities in US, wherein they will assess your profile, and if they can offer you a scholarship along with the admission letter, they will give you the information with respect to your ability to receive scholarship. So this is the very, very important thing which a student has to understand. They have to fill it in a very diligent manner. You have to understand what are the, and one more thing which is very, very important for me to mention here, that when you are I'm receiving some messages saying they are not able to hear. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me now? I think there was some line problem, so I will repeat this particular thing. So when you are filling your CSS profile, it is important for you to understand that you have to fill in your requirement of only that much percentage which you actually need. Let's say you need 40% scholarship, you should actually mention only 40% scholarship, because if you are asking for 80% scholarship and your profile is not suitable for you to be offered 80% scholarship, then your chances of getting the scholarship will be eliminated. So be as realistic as possible. Try to fill the form in the most meticulous manner so that you are given and other people also get the option. It is known as CSS profile, which you can fill on College Board website. The typical cost of applying for this, filling this CSS profile is about $25. We are receiving some questions which will be taking it in the end. Now, there are a few websites like Scholars for Dev Provisions, which will give you a very fair idea about the scholarships which are available to Indian students for studying in US, Europe, Asia, India. Even if you are looking for education within India, you're looking for undergraduate, postgraduate, all levels of education in all over the world. For US specific students, there is a option for international student financial aid application, which the university is going to accept where you are making an application. In the application form, you can see on this particular link, which is available in different formats. So every university will give you access to this particular link. In our case, we have shared a link which is from University of Chicago, but every university which is taking application under this particular aid is known as ISFA. So if the university is accepting application under ISFA, then they will be offering this particular link to you. Couple of questions which have come in the past. Somebody was asking about a scholarship in Singapore. Yes, there are a lot of scholarships which are being offered in Singapore. There are university-specific scholarships which are offered by the Singapore universities directly. There is one more scholarship which I can remember by the name of A-Star scholarship, Singapore scholarship, which is offered for Indians, and these scholarships are quite lucrative. I am taking one more question. The scholarship in Singapore, which I just mentioned, was A-Star scholarship. A for America, Star scholarship. So you can probably Google it and you will be able to get the information about that. I have received one question. See, when you are talking about S80 and AP test, normally we have seen that students are applying for, they are appearing for the SAT exam when they're in class 12. But if you are really serious and you know that you want to pursue your undergraduate abroad, then it is best for you to appear for this exam in class 11th itself, and that then you can focus on AP tests during the end of 11th or the beginning of 12th, because your test scores in class 12th are also going to, your college score, school scores are also going to matter. So by end of let's say October or November in your class 12, you are already through with your AP exams, and then you can concentrate on your school scores. So ideally, if I am to suggest, I would suggest that you should give in class 11, and after that you should start keep your focus on AP tests. There is one question that I have received, that if a parent is a higher earning bracket, will the student be disqualified for need-based scholarship? See, I think the answer is already there in the question. Need-based scholarship is basically need-based. So if you are a high earning family member, then why are you looking for a scholarship under need-based category? You should apply for a scholarship under merit-based category. The standardized tests which are important is SAT, TOEFL, and there is another option compared to SAT, which is ACT. So you can appear either for SAT or you can appear for ACT. And advanced placement test will help you to reduce the cost in form of credit transfers. Basically, it is not credit transfer, it is credit earning. So you earn the credits for that particular course which you are going to pursue, and you would have paid for it in US. So I would try to thank all the audiences. I think I have answered all the questions that have come so far. And I will hand it over to Pooja.
So guys, hope the session was good for you. So we'll be taking the question answers shortly. So kindly write in the questions in the chat box. We'll be taking them one by one. We'll definitely like to know how the session was. So kindly type in the chat box. Did you like the session? See, obviously we cannot cover everything in this session. We'll be taking more such sessions in the upcoming week. So we'll definitely notify you about those, and we'll be covering in depth about these scholarships and everything. So please type in the chat box. Did you like the session? And do you want to cover? We want to do such sessions in the future. So would you like to be part of that? Yeah, the next webinar will be very soon. So we are happy, most of you are happy with this webinar. Okay, so somebody is asking, so we'll be taking your questions now shortly. So just type in your questions. Okay. So I have received one question. What type of scholarships are provided for MBBS at USA? So I would like to tell you about this thing. You cannot directly go to the USA for MBBS. You have to take some courses. You have to go for some undergraduate course there and take some courses which can later on help you to take medicine there. And there is another question, how to apply to Harvard. So I would say the deadline has already passed. So if you are expecting to apply to the Harvard for the next fall, then definitely go to their website. They have everything mentioned for the international students. So there you can actually apply. So some of the questions I'll be answering, then if some questions Mr. Siddharth will be taking, so just type in the questions. So we'll take this question answer session for another 10 minutes as we are already, it's already 6:30, the session was about till 6. Yeah, we'll be definitely sharing this on our YouTube channel, so don't worry about it. So we'll be sharing the links with you after the session. So any other question? Okay, so so is Credila offering 1 crore loan? Okay.
See, if you are having a good amount of collateral with you, no bank will, want to lose you as a client. So, Credilia, I will be more than happy to have a high collateral client with me and offer you the loan on the basis of the collateral that you keep with me. It will also be important for them to evaluate that you are seeking loan for which university and which program, because there are some high potential programs which if you are joining, then your earning potential is going to be very, very high. And if your earning potential is going to be high, I'll be more than happy if I'm Credelia, I'll be more than happy to have you as my client.
So any other question? Okay, one question that we have received is, are S80 subject tests important as compared to AP?
S80 subject tests are certainly important. They are first level is for standardized test is SAT exam. After that, second is SAT subject exam, and then you graduate to the third level, which is AP. It will, when you are giving a SAT subject exam, it will only showcase your knowledge about that particular subject. It will not give you any credit waiver at the university. But yes, if you are looking for some specialization in that particular subject from a good university, the university is going to keep your application, might give you priority because you have already demonstrated your capabilities by appearing for the SAT subject exam.
So we have another question that says, do university students usually start working after study, or do they pursue masters after that? And in which case, paying ability will start a few more years down the line?
See, when you are requesting for a loan, then when you are requesting for a loan, you are requesting for a loan for your undergraduate education. So typically, any financial institution will expect that your repayment capacity should start immediately after your undergraduate program is complete. Now, let's say you plan to pursue your master's. So in that case, you will have to approach that financial institution. You will have to tell them that these are your future plans, and based on case to case, they are going to evaluate your credentials and give you the permission to extend your moratorium. They might even help you for your master's education in terms of loans. So there is a possibility, but you have to put your credentials in a very clear and transparent manner to the financial institution from where you are seeking assistance.
Okay, we have another question that if I will get 85 to 90% in both, then will I get direct admission to good undergrad college at USA, or will I have to undergo college entrance test? So basically, for this, I would like to tell there are very few universities which are not expecting these entrance tests. Most of the universities which are in the top 100, they expect you to have these standardized test scores with you. Otherwise, it becomes difficult for them to evaluate your profile because from all over the world, people are applying there, students are applying. So it is a little difficult for them to make a judgment about your credentials. If you have the standardized test, which is taken by almost all the students in the world, that will give you a better. Okay, so we have another question. Is there any provision of converting loan between fixed and floating rate?
This will be very bank specific, converting loan between fixed to floating. This will be very bank specific. Normally what I have seen is that there is a prime lending rate which is a mandate given by Reserve Bank of India, and whenever you are applying for the loan, the bank is charging you a certain percentage on that PLR. So let's say it is 1% on the basic PLR, and in case the PLR reduces, then automatically your loan interest rate also reduces. The answer to that approximate rate is PLR plus 1 to 2%, and it keeps on changing based on the lending pattern. So prime lending rate, which is fixed by the Reserve Bank of India for every bank. So a bank cannot offer loans below that particular rate. That is the prime lending rate, and upon that the bank will decide that what is the margin they want to keep for their earning, and that will eventually decide what is the rate of interest they are going to charge you. But all these things will be disclosed to you even before you apply for the loan.
We have another question that says, what will be the total cost for student visa for USA? The student visa for USA is $160. So if you are applying for the student visa, that is amount to approximately 160 USD.
This question about the prepayment charges on education loans. Normally education loans, there is no pre-closure or a prepayment charge, because this is one area where the banks are giving the loans for the betterment of the country future. So if you are able to earn well in time and you are able to return the money to the bank will be happy to accept you.
There is another question. Should we compulsory take S80 essays, or is it okay without it? So it is not important to take it, but yes, it will give you an extra edge again. It is not compulsory. So universities specifically mention whether they are compulsory or not. So we'll be taking 2-3 more questions and then we'll be ending this session. Okay, so we have one question. If I get into Tier 1 university to pursue computer science, will the education loan in India cover everything?
See, it is a very subjective question. When you say about everything, you will have to have your pool of investment in it. Plus, if you are looking for a specific program like CSE, which is a highly competitive program in America, then you should have a good, you should be a good profile, and you should also depend upon the scholarships, because that is the only way you will be able to fund your complete education if you don't want to spend all the money on your own. We have a very classic example recently, wherein one of the students, she applied for a university in US, which is the 39th ranking university, and she was able to secure 100% scholarship just because people were not aware of that university so much and their number of applications were limited. So if you are researching your options well, if you know that which are the universities which are not so much in limelight, but they are good ranking universities, so you can even get 100% scholarship from such universities. And it will be considered to be almost a tier 1 university because it's a 39 rank university.
Okay, so we have next question, that is, what is the difference between old S80 and the new one? So for that, we would like to tell you that you can visit our blog, CareerGOD.com/blog. We have posted a blog there that specifically tells you what is the difference between old S80 and the new one. So if you want, I can put that in our chat box also. So I'll send you that, Srivastav. So is there any question? We will be closing this session now, and I would like to thank Mr. Siddharjan for his time and for this wonderful session. Hope you all enjoyed this session, and see you next time. Okay, goodbye. Okay, so we are sending the CareerGOD.com/blog in the chat box. So you can go and look at our blogs. You'll definitely find some interesting blogs related to SAT and other things. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.